But we're going to talk about relationships, quality time, doing things special, going the extra mile to basically be there for that person. So this segment is being there for that one. Most people go through things, they're in relationships, and what happens is they get off track. So they wander, they go see other women or other men. They aren't seeing each other eye to eye when it comes to bills, when it comes to finance. It basically is a bad thing, you know. You have to be able to stick together in a relationship. That's just it. If you can't stick together, you can't communicate, you can't be together with paying bills and taking care of your family, your relationship will have a big problem. And that's just it. Example. When your partner comes to you and they tell you that, hey, I've got a problem this month, I'm gonna be a little short. What do? Do you say tough luck? Or do you step up like a man and you say, don't worry about it, I'll take care of it? The answer to that question is, as a man, you're the kingdom. That's your kingdom. Your home is your kingdom. So you want to step up. You want to do what's right for your kingdom. Because what a lot of people don't understand is a man is the king of his castle. The woman is the wise woman. She sits back and analyzes different things and different situations. And then it's her job to come to you and say, hey, maybe you should have did it like this, or maybe you should have like that. She's not second guessing you. She's telling you what she sees with her wise eyes. And I know a lot of people are like, I'm right all the time. You can be right 99.9% of the time, but the wise woman is going to own that 1%. She's going to own that 1% because this is why God put her on the planet, to oversee the king. And that's just it. And as long as you two agree that the kingdom of God is in your heart, that's what matters. That's how you get through everyday struggles, everyday events, everyday situations. And that's just it. Me and my wife, we share the bills. She gives me wise words. I mean, if it wasn't for her, my business wouldn't be this successful as it is. I have 8 investment clubs. I do credit repair. I do basically everything on the planet. And I have many different investments successful. Business partnerships with major corporations. Like Walmart, Sears, Kmart, you name it, we're partners. Every day is not perfect, but I stay on a perfect road and I read a perfect map to try to make things perfect. So no one is perfect. And that's just it. You just have to take one day at a time to basically be the best you can. And that's just it. No one person can do it all. You can have all the money in the world, but somewhere down the line, you're going to need somebody to say, hey, maybe you should do it like that. Maybe you're going in the wrong direction. And that's just part of life. And this is why God made everyone the same. Because no one person is 100% perfect. One person might be smarter than the next, or more sophisticated than the next, or more suave than the next, but nobody is 100% perfect. There's people that can be 79% healthy. Then there's some that could be 90% healthy. Then there's some that could be 10% healthy. So when you break it down, nobody is 100% perfect or 100% healthy. You can think you're healthy, but inside of you, there's a volcano going on. And then you realize, wow, I wasn't. Let me tell you something. There was a time where I didn't have to go to the doctor. I didn't need no medication. My brain was on full throttle. Thoughts, brain activity. I thought at one time I was 100%. But now, then I realized something. You can't be 100%. Because each event is different. So that made me realize that anyone can be different. It's not, a lot of people think, oh, this person has an illness, this person is this person that. God makes everybody different because everybody in their own way, and in God's eyes, is a miracle. Not just a miracle, but they're special. So don't ever think because you have depression, you have DID, you have bipolar, you're in a wheelchair, you're whatever. You're not perfect because you're not perfect. But in God's eyes, I want you to listen to this. In God's eyes, you're a miracle. You're different. But you're special. So I just want to let people know that because there's always inspirational preachers. You talk about, oh, they'll talk about how they want money in the basket in church, but they never talk about that God has a special basket, and in that basket, there's people that He considers special. There's people that He considers miracles. My great-great-grandmother told me one time, she said, you're a miracle from heaven. And I said, I'm only me. I'm only Lorenzo. That's it. But I'm going to share a piece of my life. There was a time where I fell down an elevator shaft. There was a time I was shot. There was a time where I was in a building and it just fell on top of me. I truly thought that my days on this planet was over. I've had cancer, and the worst part of that wasn't the fact that I had the cancer, was the fact when they cut me open, even though it was a slit here, slit there, whatever. They told me I couldn't have no kind of medication or not. Like, so you're just gonna cut me open? Nah, man, it was horrible. It was a horrible time. So when they cut me open, it was painful. I'm not gonna tell you. If you ever get cut by one of the blades the doctors have, it is painful. I'm trying to tell you. I've never experienced that much pain in my life. When people get cut up, trust me, it's painful. So, what happened was he cut me open and he pulled out something that looked like what is that seafood I like? I don't like. A scallop. If you ever had cancer, it's pure white. pure white. He pulled it out my chest. He said, see, this is what it looks like. He had some container, some kind of solution at the bottom. Put it in there. He said, we got to test it. All that time walking around, thinking life is wonderful. I had this inside my chest. I'm like, what in the world is going on? It's a part of my life that I'm trying to tell you, it was horrible. Because you got to realize something. I fell out. You know, I'm on my palms and my knees, gasping for air. Let me tell you something. It was like I was being choked to death. And the EMT said, listen, if you don't calm down, something worse is coming. He said, try. I told him, I said, I can't breathe at all. So with the little bit of air I had going through my lungs, I fought for my life. So they get me to the hospital. I still can't breathe. They said you had an embolism or something like that. Aneurysm, yeah. So they said you have a possible blood clot. So what happened was they started giving me the solution. There was 2 packs on my bed in the hospital. One was for a feeding tube. One was some medicine I needed. Yeah, so then the nurse comes in and talks about she's got to give me 20 shots on each side of my stomach. You know, I'm not a big fan of shots, but it was to save my life. So I said, go ahead. So he did that. Oh my God. It was painful. So then they took me off to have the test done I just told you about. They cut me open, everything. So for about 6 months, 7 months, I dealt with cancer. I was lucky, one of the lucky ones. And I went to remission. So I went to see a specialist. They told me, you gotta eat right, you gotta do this, you gotta exercise, you gotta drop some weight, you know. So let me tell you something about life. Life can be very confusing. Life can be what you make it. You don't have to starve yourself, but you do have to watch your quantities. You do have to eat right. There's some foods that aren't made for man or woman that you should stay away from. So, after all that happened, here I am, alive and well, and ready to conquer bigger things. So just like I said, just because you're dealing with something doesn't mean that you can't do what you want. You can go as far as you want. And that's just part of life. You cannot let nothing stop you. I'm trying to tell you. It's up to you what you do with your life. It's up to you. If you know you're dealing with depression, find something. Use a method that you can overcome your depression. It's not easy. It's not. You know what I'm saying? You know, find something that you can work with that helps out. And I'm trying to tell you, you can live the life you want to live. And that's just it. You know, because what you got to understand is God gave you $1 million body. You just got to do the rest. Don't ever think that God is not there for you because you're hearing things, you're seeing crazy thoughts. It's there. God already gave you the weapon that you need. He gave you $1 million body. You can conquer the world. That's just it. people with bipolar, depression, DID, ADHD, whatever, you can go a long way. You can go a long way. So, that's it for tonight. See you next time.